Welcome to my tech topic. So, this is what I've learned so far. So, pretty much in action, I think initially here, when there's nothing, there's just like something that shows you the different templates. But I'm guessing this will take me to that as well. Yeah, this. So, pretty much, it's really awesome because there's all these different templates for different GitHub Action stuff. And there's different sections too. There's deployment, security, CI, automation, etc. So let's look at this one. So you just click configure and it just shows you the whole file. And it's not too difficult to understand. I mean, I don't know about this one specifically, but like there's some setup and they're not usually very long. They're usually pretty short. You got a few jobs with steps and stuff. It's all configuration pretty much. But eventually you get to the run where you're just like running essentially commands that you would run on your terminal. So it spins up a container. Usually it says somewhere. Yeah, here, it runs on Ubuntu latest. So that's just going to spin up like a container. And it's going to run these commands. It also like, this uses actions checkout at v version 3. That's like something that takes care of like all the commit stuff for you because it's like pulling down your code, running this stuff and you know, doing stuff with it. But here you can see like you can name stuff. So I don't know what this stuff is doing. Yeah, I don't know what this does. But anyway, this is kind of what I did, and then just like this is just a YAML file. So I think it just has to be in this directory, GitHub Workflows, and the name doesn't matter, .yaml, and it'll do that. So pretty much what I made right now. Oh, I thought it would take me to the. What I made right now is just this checks YAML. I started with an ESLint thing, but I changed a lot of the things now. These things I left. So you can, this on is like when it gets triggered. So like on push to branch main or on pull request to branch main. So it will trigger whether you push directly or if you open a pull request. And obviously this is if you push to the origin, not your local. But yeah, I just have a single job here, which I called it this. So that's just the name. And then like you have your different stuff. So there's not anything like too fancy in here. You see I'm using this thing and you can see like here it's installing the things it needs to install in npx. I think I told Francis, I don't know if I told the rest of you guys, but npx is, I just learned what it is and it's actually really cool. So normally for you to run stuff on your terminal, right, like a command from like an npm from an npm package, you have to do npm install global, right? But npx lets you run those commands without installing those packages globally. So pretty much, I guess I don't know what kind of the purpose is, but this is how everyone does it. But that's just like a handy tip to know if you ever like have a package already like in your dev dependencies or something, and if you had installed it globally, there'd be some sort of command. You know, like TypeScript, for example, is a perfect example. Yeah, like this. If you ever want to run TSC, you don't have to install TypeScript globally. You can just say npx TSC as long as you're in a project that has TypeScript installed in the package. You can do that, so that's cool. But anyway, that's why you gotta still install this, because this is just installing it like you would in like a certain package. Oh, I guess probably the reason it's done like this is maybe because you don't have access to install things globally. That's my guess. Anyway, this is how it's usually done. And then, you know, it's just a matter of like setting this up right, like making sure you know your flags and stuff. You know that you're setting things up right. Um, I don't know if this is like necessary because it is gonna. I think because it's doing this, it is gonna run this in the in our like in like it's gonna clone our repo essentially. Not clone our repo, it doesn't exactly do that, but it's gonna have our repo, So it's like running it in our repo. So I don't know if this is necessary because we have it in a default place, but yeah, I think I copied this because I don't know what those things really do. Um, I think this is just like what type of files it does it on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can pretty much just run whatever. So it's like anything you want to set up. And like, yeah. And now because of this part, every single time we have a pull request, you see, well, you don't see it here, but you can see it because it's merged already. Normally, before you merge, you'll see it here, like the checks, and you'll see if there's any failures or if they passed. Um, but you can also see them in the checks section. So you can see here, this is what it ran. So you can see the entire output. So you can see here it's setting up like all these different things that it just does this things automatically, which is nice, including this, which takes care of it. And I think this is like the shot from the commit, I'm guessing. Let me see the commit. No, it doesn't look like it. So I'm not sure exactly what that is, um but yeah, it's doing all these things automatically, so you don't have to do it. I mean, this is literally what happens from that file that I sent, so it's not anything else you need to do to get it to do all this stuff, but it does do all this stuff automatically. But you can see like it's doing some git config stuff with our repo, like it's doing all these things automatically, so you don't have to do anything. It's pretty nice. Like it's doing all these things because it knows it knows it needs to do all these things. So it's pretty sweet. I think back in the day with CI, that's why it was complicated, because you had to kind of set up all this stuff on your own. Nowadays everything's just a recipe. Then this is mine. So this is one of the jobs that I did, right? Uh, and this is the install stuff. So this is the one that had those two lines, but you can see the output here. You can see what happened. Same thing with this. If you open this, I guess there was no output for this, so it doesn't show anything. But yeah, I guess there's no output. Either that, or maybe it's running this like concurrently or something like that. But actually no. If there's an error, there'll definitely be output here, because I've definitely seen that. Because I tested it, and then it does cleanup. This is like cleanup, which again, it just does everything on its own. So it's pretty awesome. Let me go back to, actually no, that actions as well. And you can also go to actions and just see what has run. So right now we just have this single workflow. So by default it goes to all workflows. If you do this at work, you'll probably have like a bunch here and they'll be like all mixed in here. Right now we just have one, right? It tells you the branch, it tells you when it ran. But like, yeah, here's a failing one. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah, and you can see here, yeah, here's the errors. These are the different errors, and I think okay, I guess it's not there. So these are the different errors as to why this failed, and I think it has fast fail. This is the last one, so it doesn't matter. But like, let's say this was running before ESLint job wouldn't run because it does fast fail by default. You can configure that. So there's just a bunch of configuration you can do with the YAML files. But the thing we're going to probably want to do in the future is also do npm test. And the npm stuff, in case you guys don't know, if you look in package.json, these are the different scripts we have. So everything except start, you have to say npm run and then the name of the script. npm start, you don't have to say run. You can just say npm start. These are the built-in next ones, but you can put literally anything you want here. So we could make like not that it would matter, but we could make a TSC one, and these, it's npx by default, right? So you don't have to do npx for these. You could do TSC here, you know what I mean? And then if you do npm run TSC, it'll run this command. Or you can just do echo I'm cool. That took me so long to write. Oh, why doesn't it like that? Oh, because I put it. Oh wait, no, that's right. It doesn't like me escaping this character. Interesting. Oh, is it because it has to be double escaped? Yeah, there we go. Because I'm in a string and then I want to escape it from this internal string. Anyway, whatever. The point is you can run anything, right? So normally the way things, just normal like JavaScript or Node projects, they'll have a test and you'll run your jest here. So like these are literally just like alias, kind of like bash aliases essentially. That's pretty much what every time you do npm run, that's pretty much what you're doing, and it tells you too. This is kind of not really related to um, it's not really related to GitHub Actions anymore, but I just want to show you guys, like, you see next dev, when you see this output after you do npm run something, that's what it's actually running. Like, this is just an alias to this, and you can always check it here. But anyway, the point being though is that we'll eventually want to make a test script, run jest or whatever, and oh, and Eric, this would also be good to set up for next as well. We could do like a seed one and run the next seeding stuff. We could do seed dev. You know what I mean? Like different versions too for like different environments. Like, So yeah, that's pretty much all I know about GitHub Actions so far. This was a lot less stressful than a regular tech topic because just tell you guys what I know, and I'm not talking about the things I don't know or pretending like I know about them. Yeah, it was really easy, so it was fun to do that. Yeah. Oh, and I will set up a deploy at some point too. But yeah, like if you think about it conceptually, like if we were to deploy a website or whatever, we would have to do something like normally on our terminal, right? And what the GitHub Actions are doing is essentially spinning up a image, and then you can do whatever you want in there. So you can run whatever commands. So essentially, once I figure out how to actually, like, what commands I need to run to actually deploy, then I just have to put that in a YAML file, and that's it. That's CD. It's so simple. GitHub Actions are really cool. I really love it. This is like the first time I actually mess with them. I didn't actually realize it was that simple when I, uh, you know, what's that word? When I volunteered. That's the word. All right. Anyway, that's all. Bye.